could happen. I mean, the Democrats want that. They want to destroy the country. So I can't tell you, but it could happen. It shouldn't have happened, and it probably won't. I think the CR is going to get passed. We'll see, but it could happen. You never know.
Republican Donald Trump, the president, has seen his party have the majority. Here's the thing.
Donald Trump and co-president Elon Musk are shutting down the federal government one piece at a time. Shutting down the agency that stops banks and payday lenders from cheating working people. Shutting down children's cancer research. Shutting down key parts of the Department of Transportation, the agency responsible for keeping people safe when they're flying airplanes. Even shutting down parts of the Social Security Administration. And now, Republicans in Congress are laying out their blueprint to shut down the entire federal government. A budget is a reflection of our values, and this proposal makes clear where the Republicans' values lie. After months of bipartisan talks, they're walking away from the negotiating table and offering a non-starter House bill that forces us to the brink of a full government shutdown.
The reality is, as Senator Elizabeth Warren puts it, they are practically shutting it down already. Thus,
You know, what could the Democrats be doing? First, they could vote not to fund the government. That's a legislative thing that they could do. And they're going to have to vote on a continuing resolution to keep the government funded until the end of this year. And then the Republicans will try to get their new budget through. The Democrats could vote not to fund the government. The margins are so thin in the House, when they do a reconciliation vote, the Democrats do have some legislative power in that they could vote not to fund the government as it's currently constituted and try to push the Republicans to change some things that they're doing right now. Some of the funding that they're putting out there, some of the ways that DOJ is running around acting, they could try to use the little bit of leverage that they have in order to change the way Republicans are running the government. Nobody likes a government shutdown in Washington. But I think it's important for the Democrats to use this as a policy tool, as a tool of politics, because they have to show the people that are supporting them that they're willing to go to the mattresses and immiserate the Republican Party and make Donald Trump's presidency tough unless the Republicans act with some thought and some plan that doesn't just involve hacking things up and doing whatever destructive things that they want to the federal administrative state.
Higher Learning's Van Lathan sits down with co-host Rachel Lindsay to discuss 5 things the Dems can do to punch back at Republicans, metaphorically, of course.
U.S. President Donald Trump has moved quickly in his first month and a half in office with a barrage of executive orders, a severe cutback of the federal workforce, and cuts to foreign aid. Much of what he's done was foreshadowed in a document written by conservatives titled Project 2025, which was a blueprint of sorts for how Trump should govern in his second term. So the question now is, what else can we expect?
During the campaign, Donald Trump claimed not to know what Project 2025 was. He posted on social media, "I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal." But his actions in office have a lot of overlap with the conservative plan. Time magazine found that 2/3 of Trump's executive orders mirror or have overlap with Project 2025.
We told y'all, we said it on this very show, they are lying about not knowing what Project 2025 was. It was all a con, much like Trump being the embodiment of the word.
Now, is this the first step on the road to a total shutdown?
Yes. Actually, it is, because that was the president's mandate, his directive to me, clearly is to shut down the Department of Education.
Linda McMahon, the wife of disgraced former wrestling executive Vince McMahon, was instilled as the head of the Department of Education for one purpose: to follow Project 2025.
But this is more important than the Democrats could ever imagine. They need to draft their own version of Project 2025. Now, I know that you've heard this before, But it's extremely important now because that'll do two things. Number one, that will show people that the Democrats can get on the same page intellectually and from a policy perspective. There are so many factions inside of the party. The Republicans have factions inside of their party as well. They have the Freedom Caucus. They have other Republicans that are more or less beholden to different arms of private money. But the Democrats have such pronounced factions in terms of the left, the moderates, the older wing of the Democratic Party, that them actually being able to come together and craft a vision of America that is oriented around working people and the betterment of their lives has never been more important. It's never been more important for the Democrats to say, this is the way we view America. Not simply these are the things that the Trump administration or the far right is doing, but this is the way that we view America. This is the way you succeed in our version of America.
It's a good strategy with one major hurdle. Many donors also control legislation Democrats vote on, so it is not a one-way street. If this truly was the way, the Dems like Nancy Pelosi would not steamroll, say, for example, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the DNC wouldn't have done the same to Bernie Sanders.
Captain Chaos and the extreme MAGA Republicans spent last year promising to lower the high cost of living and running away from Project 2025 as if it didn't exist. I'm here in the office, just finished up a telephone town hall meeting with my dynamic sister, our Attorney General, Tish James, and my team informs me that some far-right extremists have introduced a resolution to try to throw Democratic members of the House off of our committees. That resolution is going nowhere. You ain't throwing no one off of any single committee. These people are malignant clowns.
If there's anything we have learned, it is that House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is not meant for the moment. Guys as animated and charismatic as Dianne Feinstein.
Grassroots civic engagement aimed at reorienting not just information and education in their constituencies, but relearning how to communicate with the American people.
I like this.
So what I'm saying is the reason why the Democrats need to get grassroots is it's for as much as the education of the American people as it is for them. They need a crash course in how to communicate and talk to people. And the easiest way to get that information is communicating and talking to people. I'm talking about think outside the box of the town halls. The town halls that you're doing now, I'm sure they're effective in a way. I'm talking, think of some new ways to connect with your constituency so you understand the way that those people need to be communicated to. Get off the Hill for a little while. Everybody's saying you can't do anything on the Hill. Like, get off the Hill for a little while. Like, all of the acting and the grandstanding inside of Capitol Hill and in session, it doesn't move the American people. It doesn't move the American people telling people off or standing up or reading people. None of that's moving them. None of it's moving them. Nothing that you can do in those situations is moving them. You have to go move them. And being in contact with them in ways that they can feel you and talk to you and feel connected to you, it's not just going to change them, it's going to change you. I think that there's a bubble that the party lives in a little bit.
Agreed.
And I think they need to pop that bubble. They need to deprogram a little bit.
Again, not a bad idea, but you're asking many Dems who cosplay as populists to be populists and serve their constituents. Gaza taught us a real lot on this front as well. To hear Van's full list for the Dems, head over to youtube.com/@higherlearning, and to listen to their full podcast. It can be found on Spotify by searching Higher Learning. Big ups to Rachel and Van. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.